Hello everybody, my name is Axel and welcome to my first fanfic reading. I was recently inspired by a YouTuber, Avocado, to start reading fanfics on my channel. If you don't know who she is, you should go check her out. She's pretty cool. A link to her channel will be in the description. So I spend a good majority of my time reading fanfics online, so I figured why not actually do something with that and make YouTube videos of me reading and reacting to fanfictions. That way I'm not just wasting hours of my day reading and doing nothing else. So if there's a fanfiction you want me to read and react to in the future, leave it in the comment section. Today I am going to be reading a Harry Potter fanfiction, Severus Snape's Depressed Daughter by Dr. Anne. Or is it Anna? Either way. So let's read the description of this. This is a depressing story. There will be cutting and suicidal thoughts, so you have been warned. Hey, it's me from the future, here to hit you with another trigger warning because the author's trigger warning wasn't very good. If you've read or heard a narration of My Immortal, the other Harry Potter fanfiction, the self-harm scenes in this fic are a little bit worse, and in chapter 2 there's even a song the author wrote down. I don't read it out loud, but I do have the screenshot on the screen with a bunch of big red nopes over it so it can't be read easily. So yeah, if you can't handle self-harm of any kind, just don't watch this video. Skip the entire fanfic, okay? Take care of yourself. Okay, that's it from future me. All I ever wanted was to feel loved and cared. Oh hi, my name is Anastasia Lily Snape. My father is Severus Snape. He is a cold person who doesn't show emotion since my mom died a year later. I was born, I think. I have been depressed for a month. I just can't get to my father's heart. I've been trying my whole life. So I gave up now. Come with me in my first year in Hogwarts. What will happen? Alright, already the English is not the greatest. Could have done with a little bit of proofreading. Let's get started reading, I guess. Chapter 1. The Letter. I was in Bede. Yes, it says Bede and not bed. Joyous day. Thinking of my depression, staring at my scars in my arm, and thinking about how a burden and what a disappointment I am to my father. The English really hurts, but it's also not the worst. At least, most of the words are spelled right. I got up and put my cat slippers on and went downstairs to get the mail. Father was still sleeping apparently because he was not in the kitchen. I went to the door and got the mail. There was an owl with a letter. He gave it to me and left. I took the rest of the mail and left it on my father's studio table, and I looked over to the letter the owl gave me and saw for who it was. Me. Who would send a letter to me, I think to myself. I take the letter to my room and open it, and it said, okay, before I continue, you think being Severus' daughter in this story, she would recognize the Hogwarts acceptance letter, because that's what that letter is. But no, you just had to add in the, oh my gosh, who would send a letter to me? Just for sympathy points for your character. Now, I am not against writing depressed or sad characters for a story, but this is really laying it on heavy, and it almost comes off, I don't want to say insensitive, but it's just not very well written so far. Anyways, dear Mrs. Snape, we are pleased to inform you that you have been accepted at Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. Please find enclosed a list of all necessary books and equipment. Term begins on September 1st. We await your owl no longer than July 31st. Yours sincerely, Minerva McGonagall. I can't believe I got accepted at Hogwarts. I fall to my knees with tears of happiness, excitement, and terror. What if I don't end up in Slytherin house? I asked myself. My depression kicked in and I went to my bathroom, got my razor and did 10 cuts in each of my arms and legs. I took a bath afterwards and bandaged my cuts. I then put on some clothes. I don't think... Okay, I can't even form words to describe what I am thinking right now. I just, oh, my depression kicked in. Like, I don't know how to feel about the way this is written, but okay, we're just gonna move on and pretend like everything's fine. After I got ready, I went downstairs to find out that Dad already did breakfast. I was nervous. I had the Hogwarts letter in my hand. I walk up to him, look down to the floor, and give him the letter without looking at him. He took the letter and read it. So, you got accepted, he said with no emotion. I just nod. Oh yeah, by the way, I'm not going to be attempting to do any other voices or accents for this because I am terrible at doing both. Okay, then eat breakfast and then we will go to Diagon Alley after, he said. I nod again and sit on a chair. I then grab a plate of 1 pancake and some fruit. After I'm done, I washed my plate and went upstairs and brushed my teeth. I then went downstairs again and waited in the living room on the couch. Are you ready to go? My dad asked. Yes, Father, I say with no emotion. We go towards the fireplace, and I grab Floo powder and say clearly, Diagon Alley. And I appear in a wonderful place full of joy and happiness. I'll go for your books, and you will go for your wand, he instructed. Yes, Father, I say looking down. I went to a place called Ollivander's Wand Shop. Ah, Miss Snape. I was just wondering when you'd come around. I have the right wand for you, he said, and handed me a wand, and it knocked down some books. I just realized she didn't put the quote in the right place. It should have ended at, I have the right wand for you, but it ends at, I knocked down some books. You really need to proofread this a little bit better, or go get a friend to proofread it, or Google Docs is free, and Grammarly I'm pretty sure is free. Please use those. It'll help immensely with your sentence structure and making sure you put all of your little quotes, periods, everything in the right place. Okay. No, not that one. After a few tries, I stumbled across a wand, and it felt magical. It was made of black thornwood, hippogriff feather, and dragon heartstring. That's 2 magical cores, right? I don't think... It's been a long time since I've done any sort of research, I guess you would say, into the Harry Potter, universe and stuff. I actually haven't touched Harry Potter in a couple of years now. But I don't think wands can have 2 magic cores. After that, Dad came in. So you got your wand, he said with no emotion. Yes, Father, I respond. It's the same type of wood as yours, Snape, Mr. Ollivander said. Father paid for the wand, and we left to get a pet. When we were at the shop, I saw a cute black kitty with green eyes, and I got him and called him Aurum, Latin for gold. Okay, seems a strange thing to name a cat, but alright, we'll go with it. And left. Then I noticed that I was receiving weird looks from people when I was walking next to him. When we got home, I went to the bathroom and changed into PJs and went to sleep with Aurum. And there's an author's note at the end. Hello, Anna's here. And I know this is a short chapter, but I promise longer ones in the future, so bye. And then she includes a little word count at the bottom, which, interesting but not really needed. That was an interesting first chapter. I'll read the second one too, since this was fairly short. Chapter 2, September 1st. Today was the day I was going to Hogwarts. I was excited yet nervous. What happens if I don't end up at Slytherin like Father wants? I was having a panic attack in the couch. In the couch? You mean on the couch, sweetheart. While waiting for Father, calm down, I thought to myself. Oh, that's stuttering. I'm not gonna do that. Father! The attack was not letting me talk, so I was whispering. Anastasia, are you ready to leave? He asks from behind me. Father, I say a bit more loudly. I couldn't breathe. Yes, he asks from behind me, not seeing the attack. Help! Can't breathe, I say, shaking a lot. What do you need help with? He walked up to me and stopped talking and went quickly to me. Breathe and relax. I'll bring a potion, he said, and walked away quickly and came back. Here, drink it, he said coldly. I drank it and felt better. Thanks, I say. Are you ready now? He asked, not being worried. Yeah, I say, looking down. Let's go then. It pained me that he was not worried about me, but it has always been like this. We left to go to platform 9 3/4. He left me in front of the station, so I went inside to look for platform 9 3/4. You see, the author should have taken a lot more time to establish Snape and his child's relationship before we get to like going to school and meeting the main cast, since we know that's gonna happen. It would have been such an interesting dynamic, because like how did Snape meet Anastasia's mom? Why did they have a child together? It's kind of really well known that Snape is quite literally not over Lily and never will be. So what changed that? Why did he have a child? Like, was it forced upon him? Like, was he forced to get married to this woman and have this child? Is that why he doesn't really care about his daughter? Like, I want to know. Like, that could actually be a really, really interesting story. But no, instead it's just kind of like, oh, my father hates me and I'm depressed because of it, with no other explanation behind it, and I'm very upset about it. Anyways, that is when I saw a group of redheads walking, and I ran up to them. Hi, do you know where platform 9 3/4 is? Also, you think she would know this stuff? But I guess if it's said that Snape doesn't really care about her that much, I guess he hasn't just taught her a whole lot about all of this. Just like the basics. But okay. I asked them, then a lady spoke up. Yes, dear, we are going there right now. Do you want to join us? She asked me very sweetly. Yes. Thank you, miss. I walked with them. Then the twins that were there asked me stuff, and I responded to everything until... So finally, what's your name? I stay still. We are here, miss said. Hello, do you know where platform 9 3/4 is? A kid with black hair asked. Yes, we are going in right now, Mr. Weasley said. Fred, you go at first. I'm George. How dare you call yourself our mother? Oh, you wrote Mr. Weasley. You meant Mrs. Weasley. I'm sorry, George. Just kidding, I am Fred. And he went running towards the wall and went through. Then George went in. Then Ronald went in. Then the kid with black hair. My name is Anastasia, by the way. Anastasia Lily Snape, I say, running towards the wall. And went through. I leave my stuff and took Arum with me and sat in an empty cabin room with the kid with the black hair came in. Wait. It sat in an empty cabin room and the kid with black hair came in. Okay, there we go. I messed up. Can I sit here? He asked. I just nod. A few min later... Please don't shorten words in your fanfiction. Minutes. A few minutes later, Ron came in. "Can I sit here? Everywhere else is full." "Yeah," the kid said, and I just nod. Again, Ron sat next to me. Ron sat next to me. "So my name is Ron Weasley. What's yours?" he asked, looking at the kid. Harry Potter." "Wicked! You're Harry Potter?" "Yeah. What's yours?" he said, looking at me. "My name is Anastasia, but people call me Anne." "But last name and second name? Why would you just assume she has a middle name?" "My second name is Lily, but if I say my last, you won't like me," I say sadly. "Why do you say that?" Ron asked, curious. "You'll see at school," I say with sadness in my black eyes. Black eyes, like her father. That's right, we don't know what Anastasia looks like. I instantly assume because she's Snape's daughter, she looks like basically a female version of Snape, but she could look like her mom. But we also don't know what her mom looks like. Also, Ron and Harry, well, Ron knows who Snape is, the brothers, right? But like, why would you just assume that they know who Snape is and they won't like you because of it? I don't know. It's just, the pacing of this is very poor and it's making me upset. Then the trolley lady came and Harry bought the whole trolley. I didn't eat anything. "Are you sure you don't want anything?" Ron asked. "Yeah, I'm good." After that, we met Hermione Granger. She seemed nice, and I assumed that she is. We got to Hogwarts sooner than I could say Quidditch. And this Draco Malfoy kid was bothering Harry. "You should know who Draco is. If your father is Snape, you obviously have a connection to the Malfoys. You should know who Draco is. Hell, you probably should have been seated with Draco. Snape probably would have had his child hanging out with Draco and like sticking by Draco's side because, you know, the whole Dark Lord thing. Gotta stand by all the other Death Eaters and Death Eater kids and whatnot. But like, I have issues, but it's fine. It's fine. "Hey Draco, don't talk about the Weasleys like that. They are better than you will ever be, so knock it off." "And who are you?" he asked me. "Someone you shouldn't mess with," I say coldly. Then a professor came in and took us to a giant room with 4 tables. And there was a hat called the Sorting Hat. I saw Father in a big table with all the professors, and I started shaking. They called Hermione. She was put in Gryffindor, and people cheered. Ron was put in Gryffindor, and people cheered. Harry was put in Gryffindor, and people cheered. But then the room fell silent for a moment when they called a name. My name. "Anastasia Lily Snape," Professor McGonagall called. I went up to the hat. She putted the hat on me. It had some trouble. A Snape. This is interesting. You would be great in Slytherin, but no. You are like your mother. Loving, caring, supportive, brave. You would sacrifice yourself for others, and you are just like her. So I'll put you in Gryffindor. No one cheered for me after I got up and went towards the table. But then 3 people cheered, Harry, Ron, and Hermione. They cheered, and then everyone else did the same. But I didn't smile. I was just shocked and sad. I didn't end up in Slytherin. I bet my father is so mad and disappointed. I sat next to Hermione. "Why didn't you tell us you were Snape's daughter?" she asked. "No one likes me because of that. I bet you won't be with me after hearing that," I say, looking the other way. "Hey, he is he and you are you. Being Snape's daughter won't change our mind of you. Only you can," Ron said. "Thanks." You know, out of all the characters to say a sentence even similar to that, I don't imagine it being Ron. Maybe Hermione, maybe Harry, but not Weasley. Not Weasley. I then look up to Father, and he looked mad and disappointed. And because of that, I didn't eat anything. After the feast, we followed the prefects to the Griffin dorm. Griffin dorm? That was entirely my fault. The English in this story is messing me up a little bit. We followed the prefects to the Gryffindor dorm, where we all got to our rooms and went to sleep. Well, everyone but me. I went to the dungeons to see my father. You know, even if you're the child of one of the teachers, the professors, I don't think you would be allowed to roam outside of the dorm past curfew. I'm just saying. Unless she was specifically sent for. That doesn't make any sense. I knock on the door. I knock the door. Okay. Come in, he said in a dark, cold voice. I opened the door and came in. Hello, Father, I say in a low voice. What do you want, child? He said, angry. I'm sorry for not ending in the Slytherin house, Father, I say, trying to hold back tears. What is it that you does being is Slytherin repels you? Jesus Christ, that sentence. Do I repulse you? Stap. I assume that was meant to say slap, but it's stap. I fell to the ground when he slapped me, and I banged my head on the wall behind me. You are just a disappointment. I was a sobbing mess. I'm sorry. I'll go now, I say, trying to not fall. Good night, Father, I say, walking out. I went to the nearest bathroom and took out my pocket knife. How were you able to keep your pocket knife? Why were you able to keep your pocket knife? I don't like this. It sang a song I invented while cutting. Oh, Jesus. I don't want to read that. I don't want to read that. I'm not going to read that. We're just going to... If you're seeing it on screen, you're seeing it on screen. I'm not reading that. No, I refuse. We're not reading the self-harm song. No, I'm not doing it. I apologize. No, it's not happening. After cleaning the bathroom, I went back to the common room. Everything was dusty, so I took the liberty to clean everything and left it beautifully shining. Then I went to sleep. This is my second chapter. Hope you enjoyed it and hope you read the next one. Bye. And then the word count. Okay, that is enough for now. Ending off on a song about self-harm. Okay, yeah. That was interesting, I guess. The sad thing is I do believe this story, the idea for the story has a lot of potential behind it. Severus Snape having a child with somebody who is not the woman he's obsessed with, and him mistreating her because she does not belong to the one he is obsessed with. That could be a really interesting and cool story, right? Like, I would absolutely love to read something like that. But the way this is written, it is very bad. The plot is moving along too fast. A lot of what's happening isn't making sense. The sentence structure is awful. The English is awful. It's just not very well written. This was definitely written by, like, I presume a young teenager who is going through their super edgy, like, emo goth phase. Which is fine. We all go through one of those eventually. But Jesus Christ. This was, like, super insensitive. Like, damn. When dealing with things like self-harm and depression in stories, there's a very specific way you have to handle that. And this was very poorly handled. But anyways, I'm done rambling. That's it for these chapters of Severus Snape's depressed daughter. I'm gonna go drink coffee and hopefully wash away all my sorrows. If you like this video, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe if you are new, because if you don't, I'm gonna steal your toes. Goodbye!